We're back, and we're black, man. BSF, man, your black super friends. After a grueling defeat my Cowboys took this weekend, I needed some therapy. So I'm happy that we're here on a Monday so I can let some of these emotions out, man. I'm happy you're with me. Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk my shit.
Yo,
What's going on?
welcome to another episode of the Black Super Friends. I am the Horace Town. My voice is changing, so maybe I'm going through puberty. Hey, first off, no, we're not doing that. Listen, first off, I played a new introduction tonight, and it is simply because, hey, I don't have to pay the royalties for it. So shout out to TTT Tito for that nice introduction. What's up to Shelley Singleton? Listen, this is unscripted. We're gonna go to the ladies' man for 1 second, but we are not doing airport. I don't even know what airport karaoke tonight, man. Listen, you ain't here, dog. Take the night off. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear loading at gate 9. Do you want peanut, sir? We got nah, man.
The hate is real. The hate is real.
Yeah, it got me all right.
Flying in from Bangkok.
I'm gonna tell TSA what you carrying in your ass.
Whoa, pause.
Pause. Well, boy, here, rain, sleet, or snow.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing what he do show up. Listen, welcome to a wild beginning of the Black Super Friends podcast. I am your host, who is currently rooting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make an amazing, triumphant win tonight, but it doesn't look like it. So if I leave, it's because I have anger issues. But I want to introduce my cast. The premise of the show is I'm doing a show with 3 of my best friends that you internationally know around the world as the Black Super Friends. Due to the marriage of Mr. Mario Hardy, he took us international. With that being said, I want to introduce him first tonight. Reside outside of a mega mansion, I'll just say outside of Georgia. I'll introduce him tonight as the Mr. Hardy.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I needed you guys, man. I was quite pissed off this weekend, but I had a good weekend. But I was quite pissed off in the display America's team put on yesterday.
The Patriots?
Yeah. I was not such a patriot yesterday.
Hey, man. You live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Next, I'm going to my partner at the bottom, who, if you look at the clips during the Reels Weekly, I will say he is the architect of chaos. Tonight, I will call him my ally because I hope for the best. Tonight, we will introduce him as the Chris Leo.
Yes. I'm glad you guys showed up tonight. I almost didn't show up. I had a little daddy-daughter emergency. But, glad you guys here. Picked up Will book this weekend. Y'all need to go check that out, man. Some good stuff in there. So I should be giving a review very soon. I'm a slow-ass reader.
All right. Shout out to Will Smith. Listen, you watching. Shout out to Will Smith. Hey, I must admit, we do appreciate these courageous moments.
You don't go audio book?
Huh?
What's that?
You don't
Yeah,
go audio book?
I gotta steal somebody's account.
Oh, okay.
Feel like you're a student. They always have some kind of catch for students. You know what I mean? All right, next I'm going to the number 1 stunner. Let's introduce him while we got a chance. The TSA will be coming by shortly, but that's just what I heard. Okay,
You sent an anonymous hit. That's what happened. Nah, man. Well, this was a good weekend, though, man. My beloved Dolphins, they won, so I cannot be upset about that. And I got a chance to hang out with my brother, and we did some epic things. So great weekend, man. I'm glad to see you, boy. I'm glad you made it, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, the Dolphins winning lets me know I need to continue to try to seek the Lord and get my life right.
We on the way.
Reverse.
We're going back to the Super Bowl.
Shit. The Browns gonna go before the goddamn Dolphins, and I ain't talking about football to you. All right, listen. All right, first off the bat, man, I'm gonna go to national news this week. As for black men in America, you know, I go back to Mr. Hutton. I forgot his actor's name, but he played Rock. He had a epic speech that he made in a movie at one time. He said, "As a black man in America, the hunt is on, and you are the prey." So this week, with all these major trials going on at one time, let's start with the simple one tonight, and we're going to talk about the Rittenhouse verdict. You know, we watched that trial go on because it kept, listen, between media and social media, they made sure that you've seen the case, and then we'll come out. I'll discuss that later. Like, why was it so important that they made sure that you got constant reminders about this case? And even though we saw we saw the shaft coming, we still tuned in, and I really wasn't moved. But I'm gonna go to Chris Leo first. What did you think about
Um,
that trial?
yeah, I think this is a classic example of uh, what the media can do to trigger my culture, my people, and to emotionally trigger out my people. I think that the media lied a lot during this case, a whole lot. Um, there was lies of saying the kid crossed county lines. He didn't cross county lines. He lived 20 minutes away from the place. There was talk about his mother bringing him there. She didn't. She was at work that night. There was talks about him trafficking an AR-15 from over county lines. He wasn't. It was at his friend's house in Kenosha in a safe box. Again, there was a lot of talk about. I'm skeptical about the whole, even the the protest itself. From what I've known that the media will lie about. They threw out the AR-15, the gun possession, me myself, I was in an uproar about that because I got friends and I know people that's sitting in jail for gun possession, but in Wisconsin, the law is you can have a handgun and any gun that's not a short barrel gun. So he was within his
Yeah,
legal
you have
right
a
to
rifle,
have, huh?
a rifle of any sort, or a hunting gun. Yeah,
Yeah,
same
as
thing in
far
Georgia.
as exactly. So he could have that. So I think that the media does a lot of things to trigger my people, and I caution us on this one because I personally, just myself, and I don't know how this is going to come off, but I don't see racism in this particular case. I just didn't see it. So not that I'm a fan of what Kyle Rittenhouse did, but at the same time, I'm always skeptical when I was skeptical about the protests because we started to hear things of like they were sending in agents of chaos, and they were sending in people talking about bricks being strategically placed at these protests. I think that what we have to understand is there's a difference between the people that's protesting police injustice. An example of people protesting police injustice is what happened to my sister. That when you see the peaceful protest, that's when the police is the aggressors. But when the people out there to just be agents of chaos, I think that's what happens in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, where when you got people on the side that it really isn't for the cause, it's just there for chaos, and they cause chaos within each other. All I would say to people that's following this case, and I would to my people in general, I would say, what would you do if three crazy ass white boys was outside of your door saying Black Lives Matter and looting and robbing? So that's what I took on it, boys. That's what I got.
I'm gonna go to Zay before he gets to escorted away.
I'll start with saying that I'm not surprised by that verdict whatsoever, but that is a classic case in actually knowing the law and making sure you're not distorted by the media. So uh, it's uh, it's unfortunate what happened to those individuals, but it's the difference between emotional and logical. And by the court standing or by the law, he was well within his right, especially once the other guy admitted to pointing a firearm at him. That put him dead right. Once they threw that gun charge out, we knew what it was. But I think, like you said, Chris, this was not our fight. You know what I'm saying? This was a white on white crime, which I heard no one say anything about.
Never got
And
referenced as that.
yeah, and it's just tough niggas. We usually are the ones who are taking the L. This time it was them. Unfortunately, that is how the law works. I have no more.
Mr. Hardy.
I think Chris brought up some good points that I think most people gonna overlook. Everything he said was factual too. And you know me being an avid gun carrier and a part of the gun associations all over Georgia and everything, and being a black gun carrier, I promote gun use and gun carry because I think that this is a I can't think of the guy. His name just slipped my head, but he the light skinned brother. He a real a justice warrior for us. Sean, what's his name?
Sean King.
Sean King
Talcum
said
X.
he said something very important. Very important. This is a case of understanding gun law. See, this is the thing about black people. We've been taught guns kill. Guns are bad. Don't have a gun. You shouldn't carry guns. If you get a gun, you're gonna hurt each other. No, I believe that black people are the most rational people. The people who pay taxes, the black people who go to work every day, the black people who don't want to hurt anybody should definitely have guns. But we don't most of the times. So since we don't become gun enthusiasts or care about guns, we have lack of knowledge of guns or the laws that protect gun users or gun carriers. See, the law that Chris was talking about is in a lot of states. Florida happened to not be one of them, but Georgia, a lot of the southern states, South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, all of that Bible Belt, a lot of those states have those laws. And not knowing what you can do and what you can do, what is self-defense, what is not self-defense, what is probable cause to protect yourself, what is, all that kind of stuff you need to know. And the sad thing about it is, out of this case, I believe what Chris was saying is the media pushed us in so many directions except for the right direction. Because, and from what I heard of this case, and I'm not a lawyer, this is self-defense. Like at the end of the day, when I heard the guy say that they were attacking him and he got ready to pull his gun, and then the guy shot. At what point in life do you not do that? See, a lot of times we was looking at why he was there, what he was doing before that happened. Do he like black people? Do he like white people? All that is circumstantial. All that doesn't matter at the point of y'all were about to attack me. I rightfully can have a gun, and I shot y'all. That's just it. And I think so many people got mad because they wanted laws that were not created for us to protect or hurt the people who they were created for. No, gun laws were created for the minds of white people and to protect white men and white people from black people when we get out of control. So right now, because of the equal rights, we can use gun laws in our behavior, with a good lawyer. And I ain't saying it's always going to work out in our favor, but we can use it. But because we don't, or we don't have gun love or gun knowledge, we always lose the end of a gun battle. Always. And that's what I think this is more about, of gun laws and understanding this was, from what the law said, self-defense. Period. No matter how you feel about it or his intent or his what, y'all was the fools that let him be put in a position that he can use the defense of self-defense, and he gonna get away with it as he did.
Well, I don't have much to add at all to the, except for the point that, like Chris pretty much nailed it from the get go. But people need to know. I know a judge used to always say this, and then it got catchy. Ignorance of the law is no
No
excuse,
excuse.
and that is something that we must learn. Every state has different laws, and I always say that the media is a programmer, man, because that's why I used to make a comment say, man, the majority of the public are idiots because I just had an argument with somebody in the family the other day because they were talking about the media. Oh, the media said I did an IG story. Oh, the news said. I'm like, at what point did you research anything for yourself? Like that media is law to a lot of people and don't know that hell, out of the thousands of news stations, when you go back up that corporate ladder, three people own these, and it's used for an agenda.
Yep.
So I think when we learn that, because that media has the ability to make you guilty. The ability, I mean, it's almost like one person having a microphone and you not. So That's the one thing I did always appreciate about Twitter. It had some news outlets that would come be right there and be like, no, that's not the truth. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
But
That's
it's
why.
amazing to see that now, and it's interesting even with social media, how the news is controlling social media because you can put something on and you can know it's true, and social media now has different things. They'll come and say fact check. And it's like, so why? I mean, yeah, that the importance of information is interesting, and they control what we put out. That's the interesting part that we don't see. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, I think that's why it's so important to have black media. You know what I'm saying? When I was searching up information on this trial, man, I had to scroll and scroll and scroll to get the media from a black perspective, because far too much often we don't get that. We get it from their perspective or another perspective other than ours. So that's why I think it's so important for us. That's why I think it's important what we're doing, and just black media in particular, man. Like, we have to start trying to control the narrative, because again, the media has been used historically to trigger us emotionally to do different things and vote a certain way and
Yeah.
everything, and hate a certain people that we shouldn't be hating about. I remember you did some interesting study on Gaddafi, and I mean that's a whole other story. But yes, the media taught us to hate a lot of these figures and stuff like that. So we all got to start to try to control the narrative.
Yeah, and before we go, man, one thing I want to add. The interesting part is we always big up Bob Johnson as a millionaire. And years ago, I was on a lot of radio things. I got in trouble. I used to say F Bob Johnson. Back then, BET was actually black owned. And I remember for a long time, you actually had black news that would come on at 6 o'clock. And then I remember when he wanted to sell, Bill Cosby and a bunch of the black elite wanted to buy it to keep it in black control, and he sold it for like $20 million difference to Viacom, and BET ain't never been the same since. You know what I mean? And I lost respect for him then because it's like $20 million gonna get ate up in taxes, but we actually had a black network, and I remember getting so much from that, from even the video. So I see a difference from what was then to now, but we need to recognize that it's a war out here, right? And when you go to war, how successful you gonna be if you ain't got no communication? And that
Yeah.
is major, man. Listen, I want to say something, man, and I'm not gonna be right on this. On November 17, 2021, a young rapper named Adolph Thornton Jr. was murdered in his hometown. So I'm gonna have a lot of views on it simply because of it's a trigger. I think all of us can relate to it in some way, whether it's a rapper or somebody you knew. Um, this was a major story last week. A young man was in his home to do a turkey drive, and he was tragically killed while allegedly buying cookies from a small business, running an errand for his mom. He was gunned down by two men, and that is a case that continues to develop. But me and Mario had a deep conversation on it, and I went back and forth about it. I had personal issues with this because I want to say first off, you had a young man. First off, Chris will come back later and nail it home for me. But when it comes to rap music, man, what music came from the '70s to the '80s, music does have an influence. It does dictate the era. It does have an impact. And as much love, and I won't tell a short. I'll tell a short story. Years ago, when I was in music, Xavier, on the person that know that, I wrote some BS songs trying to be funny because I was frustrated with music. I wrote a song called "Look Like Money," and they will remember that. And it was, I think, Young Rolf was the one that ended up singing the song, right? But they're all intertwined and whatnot. And I really did the song as BS just to show like this is stupid stuff that's getting out there and getting published. But I wrote that song and it ended up being a hit. So go figure. But what I'm trying to get to is me personally. When I left doing what I was doing wrong, I prayed to God that I would have a better future and be able to. That's what you pray for. You want to make some money, better your life. And this young man was brilliant, but he played on both sides of the fence. So with love, I'm going to say some stuff that might be offensive, but even though he was tragically taken and whatnot, there were some opportunities that I felt like were missed. It wasn't the first attempt on his life. Um, so not to rant on, I think we're now getting to a point where rap artists are beefing all the time. All the music is about killing each other. It's about dope. I don't even know how can I support such stuff. And I know we had some music that was controversial, but at some point we gotta think about the stuff that we are absorbing. So we got so many leads. The first thing I did say to y'all was like, don't don't forget about these executives that be managers. Like the music business is shady. Chris know it. Chris will attest to that. Like it's so many demons inside of that industry, man, that anything could have been a scenario. But I felt sorry for that we had a brother who was business minded, had a family and whatnot, but that was never really pushed out there enough. But those beefs, I felt like some of those beefs he could have squashed or just handled a different way, man. And you know what? I'm gonna go to Chris again because I don't want to rant on, but I was disturbed by him losing his life. But it's so many different avenues with that situation, and feel like we going through this every month with a different black male.
Yeah, I may say things that may not be popular, but we we on this show we talk about accountability a lot, and we try to hold we talk especially with women we hold women accountable. We try to tell women to be accountable for their actions and the things that they say and the things they do. And I think the buck doesn't stop with women. It got to be with men too. Like we have to hold men accountable for the things that they say, the things that they do, the life that they live, because this is the product of it. You know what I'm saying? This is the product of how gangster rap, putting gangster first. You know how in school they say student athlete and they put student first. This is gangster rap, and if you put gangster first, then at the same you have this is the product of that. I feel super sorry for, and my condolences go out to the family, friends, people that's going to miss him that he employed and things like that. But at the same time, this is a man that lives a certain lifestyle, and this is the product of that lifestyle. Um, we like you said, Horace, we need to start preaching squashing shit. I ain't talking about you gotta forgive and all that other stuff. I can understand how if a person cross you, you don't want to do that. But at the same time, squashing stuff. The goal is to make money. The goal is to have a put your people on, put your family in a better position. And that's what he was doing. There's no need for specific beef if you're doing those things, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm torn up by this, but I'm tired, man. I'm fucking tired of every goddamn week it's another rapper because I know there's a gang of not just kids but 40-year-olds. Like you know what I'm saying? A lot of us grown men listen to Dolph. A lot of us listen to him in the gym or getting ready to go in the car. We might be listening to him with our kids, man, and we still idolizing men that speak in this nature. And like I said, I hate to see a brother go, man, but we got to hold him accountable. And because this is we're moving into rap culture now. This is a part of it. It's not a side note. It's a part of rap culture, man. And I'm tired, man. I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired of seeing this. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real, dog.
Harder.
I think Chris Horace has said some interesting things. It's crazy because when you really listen to the lyrics, I guess the older I get and the more I have a son now, I look at him and my nephews and all that, and I start seeing this reoccurrence because we've been dealing with it all of our lives, but now it seemed to hit a little different. So as I after Dolph died, when Mo 3 died, that's a lot of people King Von because I was a King Von fan, and I started like really listening to the lyrics, and the beats are amazing. So it gets you to, you know what I'm saying? Like I go to the gym and listen to a lot of rap music because it's upbeat. But then you start listening to what they saying, and I'm 1,000% against every word they're saying in most of their songs. So then I start feeling a little convicted that I'm listening to. Because I'm a almost 40-year-old man who like, bro, I don't believe in none of the stuff you're saying in this song. But it's catchy, it sounds good. But I have to be accountable for what I'm listening to and playing in my car too, because other people get in there. You know what I'm saying? And be understanding that my son might hear me playing this and then it go into him. So then when I seen Dolph die, I was like, damn. Me and Horace was going back and forth. We were talking about this, and he was like, man, you know, it's crazy. Dolph got killed in his own town. And I was like, yeah, but bro, see, gangster rap so tricky because of this. If you real, then the stuff you're saying you have done or you are doing. And that's what you get graded off of, right? So if we believe Dolph was real, then he was a gangster. So if you a gangster and you driving around in a flashy car with a whole bunch of chains on, and you a gangster, that means you put in work at some point in your life. You have did some gangster stuff to some people. Most likely, it's in the town that you were raised in. Those people don't give a damn if you sell 1 million records, 10 million records, or 20 million records. Because if Dolph shot my brother, I don't care how many turkeys Dolph gives out. That's the nigga that shot my brother. That's the nigga that robbed my cousin. That's still him. To the world, as Young Dolph, the rapper, he's excited. We love him. He came back to give turkeys. But to Sebo off of South Memphis, you the nigga who I've been looking for, but I couldn't catch you because you moved to Georgia and you're rapping now. So people got to understand, like that gangster rap stuff, it get kind of touchy because when you playing or going back to your home, most of the stuff you rapping about or you're rapping for, you did there. So those people not going to see you in the same light as the world if you're real. If you're not real and you putting it in the atmosphere, it's going to be somebody where you're from who's going to test it. So it's like a catch-22 and a catch-20. It's nothing you can do. Because if you're just a creative-minded guy who can actually ride beats and a poet who can tell stories from other people's lives, it's going to be a guy who say, man, I know this. He ain't about that. And I'm going to show you when I see him, he ain't about that. Then if you is that guy, it's going to be like, yeah, he in town. Let's spin on him. So it's like you damn if you do it, damn if you don't. But if you're from the hood, you know how much people suffer. So that's what me and Tony was saying. You always going back to try to give back because you know people need you. It's not too many people in the hood coming back to the hood to just give back like that who didn't make it out of poverty. And I hate to say it, but rappers do a lot of giving back. But they took a lot in the beginning. So I always think, like he said, my condolences to his family because now it's going to be kids growing out without a father. But one thing I do want to highlight is this. If you ever listen to Dolph talking anything, he's talked about wealth, building wealth, and financial freedom for his kids. I'm in the construction business, home inspection business. Everybody know that. I love real estate and all that. This man, every year for their birthday, instead of buying frivolous stuff, he bought all his kids' houses. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. When we're talking about like sacrificing and doing all this kind of stuff and independent artists and all that kind of stuff like that. But he actually left a legacy already. At 36, only rapping for the last 4 years, he have obtained more in those little bit of years than he had. So his kids will be straight for the rest of his life. For the rest of their life. They still need their daddy. And I'm sorry for that. But at least I see that he was planning to be a father even when he was dead and gone. And I salute him for that. So that's one to bring that, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to talk about other stuff. I want to talk about some good stuff that he actually did as a father, setting his family up.
Let me cover some points too, Mario, because you said some things that were very impactful. And also, you got to remember with Dolph, or what you said about being from where you are, is they hate you the most, especially when you're successful because you've been able to do something that they have not, and they don't like it. So he got to be mindful of that. The other thing is, I was going to say, both you, Horace, and Mario both said this. Money only intensifies who a person really is. So for Dolph to accumulate that amount of money in that short span of time, right? It only intensified him, and it hurt me because there was no one around him that could say, "Hey, man, move away." Like Boosie talked to NBA YoungBoy, "Move away because they don't like you. They'll kill you there," and that would actually for him to listen. Um, from the entrepreneurial side, though, I look into Dolph a whole lot. Dolph started off as a barber, same as myself, and like you said, with his kids, he did build that generational wealth where he bought them a home every year for their birthday. So however old his kids are right now, that's how many homes they have. But young Dolph himself owned over 100 homes inside of Memphis. And they don't talk about the entrepreneurial side of him and how he would do things to pour back in the individuals to help economies, because he knew if I affected one person, the net worth and network thing that I always talk about, if I affected one person, that could touch 4, 5, 6 other families' lives. So a lot of times when people saw him giving out money or displaying large sums of money, they took him as showing off, but he was actually trying to motivate and help others get to where he saw, because he knew about wealth and he wanted to make sure that he got that out, not only to his family but black people in general. So that I'm remiss by. We definitely miss him. We're gonna condolences out to his family and prayers as well.
Hey, I want to say this. You know what was one of the identify? I don't know whether you rapping or trapping. One of the hardest lessons is this ego played a lot to do with this, right?
Ooh, yeah.
When you leave these streets or you come up in any fashion, your ego makes you think that people still love you, right? A lot of people don't even love you, but in your mind, the way you move, you rode around that hood like ain't nobody gonna mess with me. I ain't worried about nothing. Everybody love me, and that is not the truth.
You know
Hustlers
what?
know this to be true because if it's 5 of us on the block and we hustling, I leave and come back. In my mind, I think my partner still love me, but the reality is I'm the food now. You know what I mean? It's somebody who see me different. Yeah, what I'm still here, you there, and why I'm gonna be celebrating you? You come back with love, but it ain't the same heart. Of all people to teach me something last week was baby. Then we talked about jealousy and envy. See, jealousy is from afar, but that envy a lot of times be that person right next to you. And I think with Nipsey and Dolph, both of them made fatal decisions where their love ended up getting them killed. So you gotta realize, and love is rare, man. And you got somebody to love you, keep them. But situations, man, is really it just changes the scenario. If I was him, I wish that brother would have moved away, pull a Jeezy and Gucci, like being humble enough to say, I know change. Them cookies he would have should have got, somebody would have got them. I should have had an escort with me. But my ego think I'm the king of Memphis, which I heard him say a lot, and people starving in Memphis. Mario told me something this week, like you got some people don't give a damn about who you are.
But you
Yes,
talk,
no.
but he
I
rap
hate
about
that
them.
one
He
of his.
rap about them men too, and that's another
Oh,
thing we got to stop doing. We got to stop. We got to watch how we talk to men, because if you rap about men being broke, then they're gonna do what it
Resentment.
takes to not be broke. And if they see you, just like you just said, you become food. So we
Yeah.
have to start watch how we trigger men too.
And
Those
not to cut you off, Chris, and this. If I left Revere probably like let's just say 12, 15 years ago, right? Just to really just stay there for a long time. The people who I grew up with and ran the streets in Revere, all grown. All grown. Most of them, like 80, 90% of them not in the streets no more. So it don't matter what I used to do, who I used to be, or what I used to do, because now the niggas who in the street is 20. My daughter 20. So they don't know me. They have no attachment to me. They don't care about me. They don't care what I used to do. I'm an old nigga. I'm an old man, old head. I'm washed up. So when you come back through, like, yeah, I used to sling on this corner. I used to do this. Yeah, you used to, but it's mine now. And you gonna come through and show me some love. And then see now you get that ego of that. I don't care what you used to do. We real killers now and this now. And they gonna step down. And then you as a man, like, bro, I seen you grow. Like now you having that tug of war. Because when this come to fruition, the people who shot Dolph gonna probably be under the age of 25. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be people who didn't run with him, who nobody can't put a leash on. This new generation don't have no respect because they don't have no order in life. Because their daddy probably with most of their life was in jail. So
Mm-hmm.
they never had a man to correct them or tell them, hey bro, you wrong, or chastise them. So when a man even correct them any kind of way, coming from a male, it's a sign of you trying me, and I got to bow up to show you. They used to a woman doing it because they grew up with their mamas and their grandmas. But most men, these young boys, didn't grow up with men. So now when a man come by and just be like, hey, bro, y'all need to get back. Who this nigga think he? That's the attention you get. You know, it's just sad though.
You know, the worst thing too is arguably one of Dolph's hardest songs, which is 100 Shots. Look what you're tout, look what you're bringing onto yourself and speaking onto your life. And that's the thing where you said the young bucks who looking at them like, oh, they spent and dropped 100 and hit you, but I bet if I do it, I knock you off the map, as if a contest or a test of sorts to show you who's next or who's gonna be king. I just hate that, what I'm saying? He pushed that music with the knowledge that he had and the things that he was, doing and trying to teach his inner circle that, like you said, that gangster rap life he lived because it ended up being his demise. So we do got to be mindful what we take in and what we put out in this world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't serve two masters, and the universal law said what you put out there is what's gonna come back in. So we learning, man. I hate to see another young brother lost. I hate to see another family destroyed. But I appreciate y'all comments on it because, like I say, even though this is a rapper involved, these situations happen every other day, man. And I just think that we got to start being more precise on being more accountable and highlighting these scenarios, like Chris was saying earlier. Um, so quickly, Chris, this gonna be you, man. Like you said earlier, is it time to bring the rap game up on charges?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, like I said, we speak about accountability, and we talk about accountability with women. We talk about the city girl phase and all these Meg Thee Stallion, all these other rap female rappers that talk negative towards men, and we hold women accountable for that. But at some point, we got to start bringing the rap game on charges because, like I said, this is a part of rap now. It's one thing to rap about it. I get it. Maybe that shit where we shouldn't. But these rappers are actually living this stuff. These young, especially the young, they're living the things that they're saying. They rap about it, they make videos, and then they go do it. Or they go do the stuff and then make videos and rap about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's about time, man. It's time to bring the rap game on charges. I mean, is what we listening to killing us? Is what we listening to killing our young kings that the guys that can truly affect change? And then we gotta ask ourselves, why do we invest in these icons? Why do we invest in these people and not the people that's teaching us wealth building and teaching us, showing us how to be husbands and stuff like that? Why do we invest this? We'll go to one of these guys' concert and pay over $100 and some just to be in VIP, but we won't go see a Dr. Umar lecture. You know, some people think they both as radical, but at the same time, I'm talking about things that can feed into us. We just won't invest in, but we love this shit. Yeah, I think it's time to bring the rap game on charges. What you think?
You know what got me? If I go to Mario again, bro, whether I can't speak for you, bro, but when you coming up, bro, whether you want to play sports, rap, whatever, you really want to make it. You want to change your scenario. You want to change your life. You want to make some money. You don't want to be struggling no more. You want to put your mama good and all of that, right? And and it seems like you pray to God to bless you, you get all that, and then you act a pure damn ass. It's just like you throw it back in his face because you prayed to have a better life and all that, and then a couple years in, you ain't doing none of that. Your lyrics ain't changed. You ain't talking about the change. You ain't shouting God out if you do. It's a mockery. You know what I mean? You really feed into that culture more and more and more. And I always thought like, damn, that's an insult. You know what I mean? And I was guilty. When I hustled, I said I was gonna do it to do this for couple months. I had a newborn baby, and before I knew it, 5 years that went by. I didn't start buying cars, I'm buying houses, but and I
How
look
many
back.
people did you murder?
I didn't murder anybody. If I did,
Exactly.
I did what's head on here.
Exactly. That's my whole point. The whole is like, yes, we listen to gangster rap
Damn,
too.
Vlad TV.
We listen to gangster rap too, man. But I don't remember it being like this. I remember gangsters used to do this, not rappers. It was a time where gangsters wanted to make sure they tell themselves they separate themselves from rappers. Now it's the
Bro,
same thing.
go to the timeline from the 70s to the 80s, 90s. Listen, we were talking 90s were more dancing, party, have a good time. And then you turned into No Limit where it was about having, you might smoke a little joint here and there party. And then for we know it, we talking about selling drugs. And now this decade, it's talking about doing drugs. It's like, man, God, what do we come back in a full circle? Because the music now is filthy. And the stuff I see mamas and daddies doing TikToks with, like I seen a video the other day with a woman, Bow Wow baby mama and the daughter, gorgeous girl, talented. I'm listening to the music and what she's teaching her to dance. Like, come on, protect our queens, right? Come on,
Mm-hmm.
man. Y'all full of it. Mario.
Well, there's some interesting points y'all made too, because to bring the rap game up on charges is it's kind of crazy because I think when you start looking at the age groups of our rappers now, that say a lot about the whole game. I think when I was coming up, most of the dudes who I looked at as good rappers were grown men. So as a grown man rapper, and I mean grown man as far as like at least 26, 27, at least. You know what I'm saying? So then when you start thinking about that kind of stuff, you start thinking about at 26, 27, you look at life different. Maybe not as good as us at 40, but you look at life starting to say like, okay, I need to get a little money. So that's why we had a lot of dope music. We had a lot of music about dope and women. Wasn't treating women right and wasn't working a 9 to 5, but it was about dope and women. But then as the age groups of the top rappers start going down and down, you start seeing everybody start talking about using drugs. See, the use of drugs takes your mind away from reality. So in the fantasy world, you could become Scarface. You could become the man from the mafia. You could become Frank Lucas, and then they perpetuate that with the movie industry. So if you're gonna hold a rap game on charges, you gotta hold a movie industry too, because they perpetuate all these in a rash of gangster movies that just came out. Like a bunch of gangster movies that got highlighted. And then when you start thinking about that, they had the soundtracks to these movies. So we listening to it, we seeing it, and then there's nobody to correct our issues because all the men of our age are in jail because of the crack laws. So now you got fathers doing 40 years, and they not there to tell their son that, hey, bro, he's lying. He's not really who he say he is. So now these kids become Jeezy in their head. And then when they go out there and see that, bro, it take a little bit of talent. You got to count a little bit. And you got to work hard to sell drugs. Oh, shit, I can't be Jeezy. I'd rather just be Shooter McGavin. Because it takes but 2 minutes to kill somebody or rob somebody. Then they get the easy hustle. Not to go on and on. I remember one time we was hustling, and one of my homeboys was like, bro, I can't believe hustling is fast money. And he looked me in my face and said, I can't believe you out here all day for that little money. I'm like, nigga, little money? What are you talking about, little money? He's like, yeah, bro, because I'm going to wait for all y'all to be out here all day, and I'm going to come through and rob everybody. So when he said that to me, this my homie, of course he's not talking about robbing me, but when he's saying this, I'm like, bro, that's crazy. You're right. He is waiting for the hustlers. It's the wolf in the shark. Like, it's the wolf on the bigger wolf. So when that become the mentality of all the kids, I'm a robber and a shooter. That's the people I'm going to glorify. Not the hustler, not the dude who got a lot of women, who got a lot of money, who own a lot of houses. Nah, just the dude who broke, have no money, stay with his mama, but he killed 3 people. That's the one. Oh, we did. And right now, I don't even know how to turn this around. And it's sad. It's very
Well,
sad.
just like we don't control the news, we don't really control a lot. I
Yeah.
think the music industry, as far as executives, you got a lot of artists now. They own their publishing, they own their labels and whatnot. But them the ones that ain't really putting out that product. You know why? You got some people that put out some stuff, but it ain't
Right. So that's
consumer.
why you
It's
can't
too much
blame
for
them. Because you
consumer.
got people like that's putting out good quality music and they still broke. When I can say, who gonna smoke with me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, them killers at your door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Show, bro. Listen to that. When you got people out here who really putting together 16 bars of quality music and can't get 5 people in the audience. And this man has the #1 song right now, and he's talking about counting to 20 and killing people. It's
Well, you
hard,
got a
man.
point. Well, you got a point, man, because the reality is that, hey, you got to just simply got a point, man. Shit, we got to catch up. We got to rush through this, man. Chris, the baby and the baby mama situation. I have not kept up on that, but I'm pretty sure I ain't been on Black Twitter. Twitter usually give me the updates. Any updates on that situation? I'm pretty sure it's chaotic.
Well, I just think we may need to rethink it. We was pretty unanimous in what we said, and I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to take it back, but at the same time, to me, I've seen some more information come out, and I'm getting crazy chick vibes. I'm really getting crazy chick vibes. I'm getting. I think I seen a video with his baby mama talking about she was stalking him, sending pictures and things like that. She was stalking her, sending pictures and stuff like that. She was being very, very disruptive. Now, again, I don't take back that. I think he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have went live and stuff like that. But at the same time, I've known situations like that where women can feel as though their position is higher than what it really is, and trying to muscle and enforce themselves for you to change your life. And I know men that are honest about their dealing with women, and that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women tell you to control your hoes, or as if it's something that you could do to an emotional woman besides beat her, and that don't even work. So not that I know.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying is, I think we need to rethink this, man. Like, I think this woman was probably one of them baby mamas that's trying to put her foot down and be forceful and make a relationship out of something that wasn't a relationship. And I really think we need to rethink this one, though. What y'all think?
This is why fathers are important. Mentorship is important. Big brother is important, because a big brother or daddy would be able to say, "Hey, listen here, boy. Let me tell you about my first one or my second one." We don't applaud the having children out of wedlock, but listen, those crazy chicks usually had the best.
But see,
So
that's what I'm saying.
that young man has to. At the end of the day, he's responsible for his decisions and the consequences that come with that. If he has somebody in his ear that can contain him and say, "Listen, bro, I get you having doing all this stuff, but your money, your career, all of this can be affected by having a bad decision with this chick." Harder.
I think this too. I seen when they first got together, I seen him antagonizing his first baby mama, and left her, said he's single, and he was taking the other girl around, had videos of them kissing each other, they flying all over the world. He hugged up with her. She at every show with him. So I can say, so if I tell you every day, yeah, you're not my main girl, but then I'm disrespecting my first baby mama, and I'm blatantly in the car with you, hugging you, kissing you, letting everybody know you the one, and then I blow you up. Then I hear you, I'm not the one, but I kind of think I am the one. And then you blew her up after you told her she was a side chick and all that. Then you gave her a baby, and then now she's telling her your other baby mama probably like, yeah, that's just who he is, like you said. Hold this control your hoe. But now she's like, I'm not just a hoe now. I'm equal to you now. I'm his baby mama too. And he's been staying here. And I've been staying with him. So I always tell dudes, sometimes, listen, I understand. I'm not holding them down. I play them same games. I understand how to say something and do another thing. I know how to say this so I can cover myself, but treat you like this to not lose special treatment that you're giving me. And if she is a crazy baby mama, like you were saying, Chris, which she probably could be, which I think she is, because I would think, what, a 22-year-old who wrapped up, and most niggas after her all day, did she get treated like this? And she probably never got treated like this before in her life because she's high yellow and had more money than probably most of the dudes she talked to. She's in shock right now. And I think that this is a product of a woman being tossed to the side who thought she was the cream of the crop to most dudes. And she probably gonna make his life a living hell all she could if he don't. But he used to this in me because he was just dealing with this with his first baby mama. So we'll see how it playing out. But I think he need to be a little more responsible, bro, because even if that's your side chick, you can't keep blowing up your side chick. Can't keep doing it.
And date doctor. I said it in time. Date doctor. By definition, what is a side chick?
That's a tough one. That's a really, really, really tough one. If I had to, just do a broad sweeping definition, it would be the additional woman in a married man's additional woman. If I had to take a broad sweeping definition, because to be a side chick, there's a main chick. Main chicks aren't girlfriends. Main chicks are wives. Main chicks are, so we have to streamline these definitions so that they fit in narrow, spaces, not broad, vague spaces. Because I done been told, um, I have side chicks and I don't have any main chick. I don't even have a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times these names are put on from women put on other women that they dislike or they seem as competition. I don't I personally don't use those words. Like I can't, if I have feelings for two women, I don't want to downgrade one because I could and call her a side chick when I probably share equal feelings for the other for both of them. So as far as me this definition, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe y'all can help me out with this one because I don't know.
Listen, Hardy, you want me to go? You going?
I go. It's gonna be quick. I think that's a great definition what you said because the most plausible way would have to be the woman on the side of a marriage, the side of what I'm saying. Like that's what it have to be. But I think just to be technical, is anybody that a man tell you. If a man tell you you're a side chick, you're a side chick. Like if he come out his mouth and say, "Hey, this is my situation. This woman holds the number one spot in my life. It don't have to be married or not. This is the woman who I'm gonna stay with. I'm gonna pay bills with. This is the woman who I go on dates with. She gets all of my time. She is number one. Now you can be on a team, but you will never supersede her. And if she calls, like you gotta know your position. Now, if that's not it, then I don't think it's a side chick. I think what happens is what Chris said. Most dudes have that, don't make it clear, and they have two or three girls they care about. And he know in his head this is the one he care about the most. But all three of them think they're equal. All four of them think they're equal, and that's when you get in all these kind of problems. So I'm gonna clarify one more time. To be really honest, I agree. You can really only technically have a side chick if you married, because then it would be the woman on the side of your marriage. But nowadays, people don't really get married or value marriage, and they call everybody their wifey. So I can't just use that no more. I'm gonna say the woman that's on the side of what he calls his side chick is you're a side chick. If a nigga tell you on the side, that's where you at.
Well, let's debate. Let's debate. I don't think you have to be married for a chick to be a side chick. I think side chick is the opposite of friend zone on the male side. This is the chick that no matter what she does, there is nothing that will ever make you say this gonna be my main.
Now, but you fucking your side chick.
I'm a bang the hell out of her.
Right, but most girls don't fuck their friend zone, buddy.
Yeah, you got a point. But listen,
equal opposite.
When it comes to the side chick is gonna get deposits, right? I might receive her services. I might receive her generosity. But at no point will she ever graduate to anything meaningful in my life. I will not care for her. I will not invest in her, no matter what. I could be with this chick banging for years. I think the side chick is the chick that no matter what, she can never be my main. I'm not introducing her to my family. I'm not going to care. She can have surgery tomorrow and I'm be like, hey, I'm holler at me when you're good. Like, I know there's side chicks out there where you just don't have any. I would say mental investment, or maybe what's the other word? You don't have it like she's there, but she is it expendable? Like they come a dime a dozen. So I think that's what a side chick might come into because you're not going to get a return on investment with me. You know what I mean? I see you as expendable.
So the girl didn't have a side chick. So the girl wasn't his side chick, then, to y'all.
No, I ain't never think she was a side chick. I think what he was just putting on for himself because, listen, this is a new era. I just learned something the other day. As much as we used to hear women say they want to get married and do all this stuff, be honest, on this dating scene, a lot of chicks instead F it and they just want to have fun. They worse than us out here. So you might be a side dude to them. Like these chicks out here ain't some of these chicks ain't looking for a relationship, they just looking for me. I like being home. I done got used to being single. I like sleeping alone. I want listen, when I want to go on a date, I'm gonna call you over. I'm gonna call you over, put me to sleep. But some of these chicks are really giving like I see that you now starting to see the chat where chicks are like, I just want to have fun. Like I've given up on the whole good man thing. And some women don't even see men the same no more. Like they don't see us no value in us. So things are in a peculiar situation right now, date doctor.
Yeah, I think the only flaw with that I can see in your argument is like most people personalize a side chick. They say that's my side chick. So and if you don't have any kind of thought of anything, it being anything with her, you would never put any kind of personalization on her. I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean that's a good one too. That's a good definition. But I just think it's most of the time when people talk about their side chick, it's more of a personal thing. And once you made her somewhat personal, it's a little deeper than that. There may be reasons why you can't make her that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think a lot of people. I think it's more people who are vegetarians. Like get where I'm coming from. A lot of people order all sides and no meat. So a lot of people doing that. They have a bunch of sides but no meat. And then if you got a bunch of sides, then hey, you just out here just going off the lane. You know what I'm saying?
Two sad facts right now. There are a lot of good men out here being hurt because they going out with some anticipation that hey, I'm really like this chick. And get what? You go out on the first date, she might smash and say, cool. You know what I mean? Like, some bastards don't care that, but he might have been like, damn, I think she cool, da da da. But she ain't thinking the same. You know what I mean? And to be honest, there's a lot of chicks out here that's married. What's a married bachelorette? So man, I swear to God, it is just different out here. You know what I mean? So when they say a single man gonna burn like he'll be lonely, no the fuck you won't. A senior even with the technology, a single man can goddamn be getting his rocks off until he hit the grave. Like his value is going up out here.
I think if we value sex, then a man always gonna be at the top of the ladder. Cause it's never gonna be a time a man not gonna be able to have sex just because it can be purchased. So I just think that. But if that's all we are quantifying as winning is how many women you sleep with, then shit, you right there. Then a man always gonna be the winner. If that's all you care about.
I mean, we just seem like everything is sexualized now, where you have people will say one thing, but hell, or even on online dating apps, people say, "Oh," and the Crystal laugh. If you only here for sex, da 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 da, don't message me, and that's the person you go out with, and she on your lap when you driving to the restaurant. You like, okay, I just read the profile, so like I'm confused, but I'm gonna ride with it. I'm gonna take this alley oop. So man. You got to learn this new dating game for as single men out here, man. Me and Malcolm actually said something tonight. Oh, wait a minute. Point of clarification, a female can definitely be knocking down a dude she friend zone emergency dick. That is no such thing. Friend zone means...
Well, then nobody would care about being in the friend zone.
Right, they care about that.
Yeah, that's not true.
Call me Rudy, because I'm going to get here. I've been on the bench for 4 years.
And if I wasn't married, Professor Friend Zone me then, goddamn it. What the hell? That's the most beautiful friend zone in the world, then. So I actually get what I want.
Yeah. I just happen to be
most women. Most women only fuck when they want to. So you keep saying emergency. That's how most women activate it, whether they friend zone or not. They call you when they want to. You know what I'm saying? It's not just readily accessible unless that's your girlfriend. So we understand that. But if that's a friend zone, shit, if your friend zone work like that, then hey, you might be on to something here.
And that's the thing, dog. Like
what area this is, what part of the country that is.
And that's the thing. That's how it really is, dog. Out there, like we don't control when we get in it. Like I can be smashing this girl for over a year. I can't just call her and say, "Hey, bring me some of that." No, she gives it to me. She calls me when she wants to do what she wants to do it. So Man, I don't. Yeah, ain't
Because
no.
even if you do, you got to go through the formality, like what you doing, come over. You got to go all that. But she could call you and say, "Shit, come on over here. I'm feeling horny." You run 6 likes to get to her.
Out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Friend zone mean you won't be on the bench. You're not touching the court.
Right.
But me are saying one day you don't know the time nor the hour. You just gonna get that phone call that you waited all your life for.
You ever see that right there? It's why most dudes who in the friend zone stay in the friend zone. They be waiting for that. That's what that see that thought process right there is what kills so many players. It saw them down. So they like a snail. They dribble up in that place of preparatory. What you call it? Just bullshit place right there where you be like, yeah, one day she gonna call me. I'm gonna be
Purgatory.
purgatory. There you go.
All that
Chris.
hope.
There's just that. It's no hope. Leave
Put
immediately.
up,
The minute she
put up.
curved
Ashley, comment. Y'all shouldn't be so. We're not. We're not marrying you.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't marry women like that easily. If you're talking about the wiener, oh well, that's not the same as marrying. So we're absolutely not easy.
But that's a good point, Chris, not to go on the subject, because what do we quantify as meaningful stuff to us? Like to a man, you're right. If you're talking about sex, we don't think so highly of sex, but a woman do. But if you're talking about commitment, we take highly of that. So a dude will come screw a whole bunch of women, but he won't commit to a bunch. So if you're going to judge us by, oh, we easy because we screw a bunch of women, then all right. But how many have we committed to? How many girlfriends? How many have been serious? But see, a girl will hold a box, but she'll have 10 dudes on Facebook taking pictures and all that. I ain't screwing none of them, but you gave your heart to 10 dudes. So which one is more impactful? Giving your heart away every 3 months, or you?
Yeah.
You can wrap up your private. You can't wrap up your heart.
At all. They don't make condoms for that.
Listen, a lot of y'all playing spades out there. Y'all done had a lot of kings this year. Gotta listen, man. Oh, I thought that was hilarious. But listen, last thing, man. And I think this was a good question I brought up, man. And I'm gonna keep going to Chris tonight, man, because I like the impromptu conversation. How did you learn how to treat a woman?
I didn't. I don't. I think it's a work in progress, man. You know what I'm saying? No one ever taught me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever taught me how to treat a woman. And you would think that you could just get it from women, but you know how women are. Not every woman is, things like that. So you got to take it up for a case by case basis. But what I say is, I don't know if it matters to learn how to treat a woman. I think it matters to learn what a woman responds to. That's what you want to focus on. Not because she can tell you how she wants to be treated, but you got to think about what she responds to, and that's what you really need to pay attention to more than anything. Focus on the things that makes her laugh, or the things that keeps her in line, or keeps her in a feminine state, instead of worrying about just trying to please her and trying to do what she says. Because trust me, that's not going to work. But yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have a ground rule of like the code that I live by, as far as opening doors and making sure women are safe and not being a threat to them, not verbally abusing them and things like that. But as far as anything else, man, I don't know.
Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I asked that question. Right, I was talking to a female the other day from another show, and we'll talk about that afterwards. Right, and she asked that question. I had to think about it for a long time, and I told her the hypocrisy and what I learned. You know what I mean? Two things. As a kid, I grew up probably a little tender for women because my grandmother was my maternal grandmother was a single woman, and then the house was my aunt, my great grandma, my sister, and my auntie. Like, it was just a house full of women. Now, as a little boy, I would see them. This was still the court to stay with men would come in the house and try to talk to them, da 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 da. but I would see them go on dates here and there. But I would see them oftentimes come home crying, or they just distraught over this guy. So it was still an area where you had to come meet the family, go on a few dates. So they were trying to get married, right? So okay, I was like, dang, I was always see women so sad. All the women, there's a lot of women I found. I've seen them so sad and distraught about men. And I was like, I ain't want to be that type of person, right? But then growing up, being the cool, nice guy, I would have a girlfriend, but I ain't had the admiration of women. Like the chicks want on me, right? Until one of my cousin would put me on game. The game gonna change it, right? So women say they like the nice guy and they're like blah 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 blah. But I'm seeing y'all actions. I'm observing that that's not true. So listen. Then we go to the JT Money era, so that's an influence. Shout out to JT, I love you, boy. JT Money, we grew up in the era where we didn't have daddy, so they did have some influence. So we talked about music and how it had an influence on us. That was a big one. So once I started getting a little muscles from playing sports, I got a car and I changed my dress code. Oh my God. If you seen how the chicks changed. And the most funniest thing about it was even though I was the same guy, I actually got chicks by being the asshole. Being the asshole. And I was like, so I see this is a Jedi mind game that I gotta, we always laugh about the whole thing about Future and Russell. Y'all say y'all want Russell, but you really like Future. And the much they talk about Future, Future is never short of having some chicks. They still go for Future. So that kind of shaped the hypocrisy, So now as men, we realize we learn about emotional intelligence and we learned that a lot of stuff that we were taught was toxic. But damn, it's kind of like it's too late because shit, we're in a toxic society. The women act worse than we do out here in this era. You know what I mean? But I learned that it's almost like don't do as I say, do as I whatever. I don't know how the quote go,
Don't do
but
what I say. Don't do what I do. Do what I say.
yeah. That's BS, right? So seeing that me being the unattainable, being the asshole, it's crazy when we bring up that thing about no woman wants a man that other women don't. You ever heard that?
Yep.
That shit is true. So there's so much hypocrisy when it comes to women. And once I learned that, I understood women a little better. And I ain't saying it makes sense, but once I learned some of the hypocrisy in it, I think that changed how I treated women. Have I mistreated women? No. But I understood that sometimes a woman's love is selfish and sometimes they might not even know what they want. But once she's into you, again, when you be talking about what you got to do to get a woman, I think Will Smith just said it like, that sounds good, but if a woman wants you, it's a little easier because you're gonna see the effort. It's almost like gonna be like a bridge. So how did I learn how to treat women? That trial and error and just being observant and recognizing hypocrisy. So Hardy.
Well, this is a loaded question, so I'm gonna answer it the best way I know how. Because the way the way I was taught to treat women was from my mom and my aunts and everything else. And the visual of them telling me, be nice to little girls, don't be mean, don't ever put your hand on a woman, open the door for ladies, pull it out, make sure you walk on this side of the street, they walk on the inner side of the street, like all that stuff. You make sure your little sisters, your cousins, your auntie take out the trash. Men do that, pump the gas, like all that stuff I learned from women and my uncles. They taught me all that stuff. So I grew up kind of thinking that's what when somebody say how to treat a woman, that's what a man do. Then he brings flowers a day, he courts, Then my uncle started telling me that level. So I thought at that point, that's how you treat a woman. But then I had to learn all of that, unlearn all of that. Then I learned this. You treat a woman how she explains that she wants to be treated if you care. So right now, what happened is it's a case by case basis. If because some women opening doors is punk ass stuff. They don't care about that. Some women you can be like, oh, I brought you flowers. They don't care about flowers. You can get them compliments. They don't care about compliments. So all the stuff you think that you're doing to treat a woman, right, to them it's not right. So I had to learn that when you meet a woman gonna tell you how to treat them because they're gonna tell you all the stuff they into and what they know. So if you listen, they'll tell you. But then I agree with Chris said. Here's the loaded part because I believe that a lot of time women don't know what they want, and a lot of time the stuff they saying they want is cliche shit too. Is I want a man to completely tell me the truth. You don't, and I've learned that. You want a man to be open with his feelings and be totally fluid. You don't, and I've understood that. So I understand that a woman want a little bit of that and a little bit of this, but and most of all, a woman who into you wants you to be authentic. So I take the best way to treat a woman is being authentically who you are and listening. If you could do those two things, and a woman is into you, here's the caveat: into you, then I think you will know how to treat her because she's not going to require too much stuff that's away from you because she's into who you are and not who she wants you to be or who she wants to make you. And if she cares about you, that means she's going to be invested into the relationship, which means she's going to give you a lot of signs and a lot of talking of how y'all can correct course and make sure y'all be on the same page so you can help her or treat her right. All that goes into building the relationship with each other. So I think when you learn how to treat a woman, to answer your question, I think I'm learning every day. I've been married now almost 2 years, and I think I still don't know how to treat my wife exactly how she wants. I probably never will be able to treat her exactly how she wants. But every day I just do a little bit and try to listen a little bit more, try to care a little bit more, and do a little bit more and pick up a little bit more of the things as she becomes more comfortable with me and tells me the things she probably haven't told anybody else, or she won't, or she brave enough to want. They ask me. That's what I do. So I think most men will forever in their life be learning how to treat a woman.
I'm gonna give Chris some credit. At first, when he said he wasn't, what'd you say? What's your answer, Chris? I don't know. After I thought about my whole little rant, I realized that I wasn't. I don't like, I had some influence and I observed some things, but I was like, man, was I ever taught? Like I taught myself through trial and error.
But I
And
don't think you can be taught because right now one woman to tell you that, like you'll hear cliche stuff like, look at him pumping the gas. He don't know how to treat a woman. So if I if I go pump the gas for that woman, will you say I know how to treat a woman? Probably not.
No, so, because then you have to pay for it.
Then you say, well, she paid for it. They the man who don't know how to treat it. See, so the bar always gonna be going up and down. That's why I think that you'll never know how to treat a woman until you get your woman and you focus only on one woman. Because if that's the case,
what I think is the key.
Yeah,
that's what I think is the key. I don't think the key is to learn how to treat women. I think it's to learn how to treat the woman that you want or the woman that wants you. How to manifest that. How to make her better in how she treats you. Because it got to start with her wanting you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it starts with her wanting you, then now you need to learn how to treat that. That's just like a seed. You know what I'm saying? You plant that seed and you nourish it to make it grow. But as far as trying to learn how to treat women, you're not going to learn how to treat women. You can learn what a lot of women react to, what triggers them, those things. But as far as trying to learn, just trying to learn women, no, you got to learn your woman.
Right.
And don't be no guy. I would say disclaimer: don't be no goddamn fool either, though. Because listen, I will say this also: you do have some Jedi mind tricks, and I will take the heat for that tonight. Like when we talk about, we had an argument one night in the show about how you're defined by what I do. Like that don't make me less of a man because I don't do what you want me to do. So when we were having an argument about the club and all that. Or dude go over and he buy 5 drinks from the chick. Oh, you a good dude. Oh, he's a good man. But I don't moderate. I'm not a good man because I don't like that validate. Like I don't get caught up in that, fellas. You know what I mean? Where what you do. Yeah. Oh, he good. But the joker that's like, I ain't going for that. Like, why I'm gonna buy y'all heifers 5 drinks? I don't know y'all. Just for you say I'm a good man. Like, don't get caught up on that either, fellas.
Yeah. Right, and I think that's a lot of pressure for a man to say, I know how to treat women. Because, bro, that's a lot. Because now you're talking about multiple levels of them wanting what they want. Like you said, like, if I buy all 5 of y'all drinks, I know how to treat you in this moment. But the same way I could walk out the door and don't hold the door for you, and the same guy who you just praising, who bought you drinks, $1,000 tab, if he don't hold the door, then he'll know how to treat women. So I think it's fluid. You know what I'm saying? You could, in one moment you could be up high, in one minute you could be low. But I think if you focus on one person, you can consistently know, like, okay, she don't like this. Like my wife don't like flowers. I'm a flower giver. She don't like flowers. So it don't matter if I give her flowers, because she don't really care about too much about flowers. So I can be like, yeah, women need flowers and they need this. Nah, mine don't. Shit. So go ahead.
Nah, that was on Chris. I'm about to say, to your point. I just highlighted one thing I must go back to. If a woman's into you, she gonna give you some grace, she gonna give you some effort, and you gonna see you guys start to glide together. But if she ain't into you, man, you gonna chase that chicken forever and burn yourself out, and then you gonna have resentment, and they'll let you burn yourself out. You going taking lunch, you buying flies, she ain't into you, brother. That ain't gonna get it. You know what I mean? So and then you look at yourself, because you don't never want to be the dude that start hating chicks when you ain't put the best product, you ain't put the best version of yourself out there. But that's one of them date doctor type discussions. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hey man, Thanksgiving plans for we go. Thanksgiving this week, my greatest holiday. And in fact, F that, Family Day. We're not gonna say Thanksgiving. I'm Native American. Now listen, Indigenous People Day, we call it Family Day. We're not gonna recognize it Thanksgiving. What's y'all plans though?
Well, I'm going
I
to go ahead. I'm
don't
going to
really
my
have plans, to be honest with you.
my pop house, and we're gonna see how this go. Because for once, all his children gonna be in the same place at the same time. I think since we was little, so we're gonna just see how this one go right here, man. All the grandkids, we're gonna see how this gonna go if everybody show up. We're gonna see how this go, man. We're gonna see.
There's I'm gonna keep him single. Chris, what's your plan?
I really ain't got none, man. Like normally the holidays, man, is real. I don't know. It just gives me a funny feeling. I remember how my family used to be. We used to really do our thing for Thanksgiving. It used to be a real big family event, but it ain't like that no more. So normally when I'm home, I used to go to have family day at your place. Your mother's always been hospitable to me, even though, I'm the only one she actually want to square up and fight sometimes. But like bare knuckle. I don't know if I'm coming home because I got an uncle from California in Miami partying with my other uncle, but that's about 8 hours of driving there and back. Oh man, I don't know if I want to do that. And plus, I don't know if I'm in the mood, man. Like I'm just not in the mood. I got my mind is somewhere else, and I just I don't know. It ain't the same, dog. Like I don't have my personal family as far as my lady and stuff like that, and my real family. We just don't do it the way we used to do it. So we still do some stuff, but I don't know. I might just chill out.
Well, I'm gonna say this with all the love and I have for you, Chris. I learned some last year as a spirit of gratitude. Find ways to be thankful for what you do have this season. You got cupcake, you got your health, you got a little wealth, and I had to focus on that because Thanksgiving, that's cool. I like it. I like to eat. I like turkey. But when it came to Christmas, y'all see, I get quiet because I can hear this Christmas and I bust out into tears because that was the connection I had with my mom. So Christmas come around, I don't have that same. Like I go into depression. Like my childhood, I can see it in my mind. It just I can understand and not feeling like the person that I love the most. There was just something special about us, when it came to Christmas. So when Christmas come, I have to battle through that every year, and I didn't even recognize it till Cree helped me recognize it. I would stay in the bed, and kids come in, grandkids come in. Oh, Christmas, and I had to get out of my own way and start to share it, be like, it's bigger than me. You know what I mean? The influence or impact I'm having on everybody else's holiday is not fair. And being a husband, a man, a father is a sucky job at times, but you know what I mean? These holidays, Even though it's tough for you, man, you're getting to celebrate with your daughter, and you're only gonna get to have a Thanksgiving while she's 16 once, while she's 17 once. I applaud what you do with your family because you are the head of that family. So just have that spirit of gratitude, man, as much as you can. And when it's tough, call me a Mario and just pray about it. But change the dynamics, man. You know, we are blessed and we are here at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a sorry. So I sounded like Hardy a little bit then, you
A
know.
little bit. Hey, Hart, you notice he referred to his ex-wife by her name and not by his ex and nothing like that. You heard that what he was saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I
Give it
What's
thanks.
going on there?
You give it thanks.
bro, I just have my heart is clean and just got to get into a place, man. Listen, I just want everything that God has for me in this season. So I want my heart to be totally free. And that's just I'm trying to get some of that wisdom that Pastor Hardy up there has. You get what
Hey
I'm
I'm
saying?
telling you, I knew he was going sweet on me, dog. I knew it. I knew he was going soft on me, dog. That he want a lady, dog. He want to share his castle with a queen right now, dog. That's what's going on. That's what vibe he's on right now. I'm telling
I do have and it's gonna be shared.
you. No, it's the voice changer for me. What I
Yeah,
had
man.
to say.
At 40, my voice is changing. I'm thankful for it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Listen, Ashley, hush your trap, man.
I was thinking about it the other day. Zaya came up here. We went to the Dave Chappelle concert. You know what I'm saying? I got a blessing. I was just explaining to the guys. We had bought some seats because they was selling out quick, and they wasn't the most favorable seats. Let's just say that. And then I went to get a drink, and then the lady gave us some seats down in like the 100 section, was like right in front of the stage. Then I was looking around, and I seen this older couple who was sitting right in front of us. I tell you, the lady had like dread, but they was all gray. The dude had a jacket on, a sports coat, them big ass jeans they go over the church shoes. You could tell like that's his dress down attire because he probably wears suits all the time.
Yeah.
And in the middle of Dave Chappelle show, he bring out like rappers from the city. So it's like T.I. and Jeezy and them all. I never knew this was coming in the comment, but he brought out like almost every famous rapper in Atlanta. Atlanta got a lot right now. So it turned into them a 2-hour concert. And these two people are like having the time of their life. I'm talking, they look like an accountant and a news reporter. And they are having the time of their life. And they just going back and they laughing at every joke. And I'm like, dang. So then I go get a drink and the dude in line, and he like, man, I'm really enjoying myself. And I'm like, yeah, man. I see his ring. I'm like, how long you been married? He's like, oh, like 24 years, man. 24 years. My second marriage. My first one, I was married for 15. So I'm like, you been married almost all your life. You're like, man, let me tell you something, man. Spending time with the person who you love the most is the best feeling in the world. And young man, enjoy it for the rest of your life. So I went back, and I ain't no big just dance and all that, but I kind of like brush myself off and kind of enjoy my night a little more. You know what I'm saying? Let my head down a little more. I start telling myself that I'm gonna start doing that, like embracing every little moment, because that is something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people can say they want, but it really just haven't had that yet. So to have that, I have to be feeling more lucky. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get so focused on tangible accomplishments, like money wise, like I need to go buy this, or I need to do this, or we need to do this, instead of just saying, hey, are we good right now? And let me enjoy you. I agree with what Horace is saying about that. I want somebody in mind. I can know that feeling, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just want somebody.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Chris to hit us with that. I text a message to the girl I want to. I text a picture of the girl I need to see, and that's gonna be an epic moment in history, man.
It is not only because of what he gonna get, but what she gonna get. Because I push it so much because I know the person who y'all gonna be. Because when you get somebody like that, it's unbelievable. I don't see all y'all in relationships before, so it's not like it's not no secret will come when you in love. It's just the point of imagine being locked into that for a long period of time and knowing that other person is just as committed to you. That's amazing.
Yeah. Listen, I had a joke the other day. I got in trouble for, but I'm not gonna say that on air. But listen, Hey, oh, I'm cutting the food this year, man. I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, I want a woman. They're like, well, what you been? What you been? What you had on the hose? I'm like, I want a woman now. Here you talk
Right.
about, man. All right, closing comments, Chris, the guy who has the wheel in the background, man. I'm proud of you, bro. You need to do a podcast. Invite a couple people that read will do the hashtag and do a book review together.
That's a good one.
Speaking of books, man, I was gonna hit y'all with this idea, man. I think we need to write a book. I think if you talk, four people talk about their experience coming up, just a short experience coming up, and then talk about how we came about, and make it. We can make it a series, man. But I think we really need to write a book. I don't
I
know
need
what
to
the
go
name
start.
will be, but I wanted to step to y'all about that, man. But we'll talk about it a little later.
I ain't finished the one
Thank
I
you guys
wrote.
for joining. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. The holidays is coming. I don't suggest anyone go out of their way financially. I think that you should make this about love and planting a seed, man. I think that what we should do instead of spending out and crashing out for this holiday season, see if we can plant a seed for the future, and always remember what this is all about. Everything is about family, legacy, and just being there for one another and loving each other. So thank you guys for showing us love tonight. If you really want to show us love, subscribe to the YouTube page, comments, share our page on Instagram, share our page on Facebook. Spread some of that love to us too. It's the holiday season.
Yeah, name the book Eight Nuts. Mario.
Hey man, appreciate y'all for
That might
coming,
be
man.
it'll work.
Yeah.
You damn sure right it will work. Anything like that is great. One
Nicky.
thing, yeah, grab it, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in like y'all always do. Share, share, share. Man. Hey, I've been getting a lot of requests for us. We're gonna do a live show soon. We're gonna keep y'all up to date on when we're gonna do a live show, and we hope that everybody in this audience show brings a date and come on out. And then you know how women get together in groups of 10 and fives and eights. We want all that. We want all the smoke. We're gonna do a live show so you get to come look us in our face, tell us how you feel a little bit, because it's still gonna be our show, and hear how we feel majority of the time. So if y'all interested in that, man, you hit our inbox. We got the Black Super Friends Facebook page. You can always hit that inbox and tell us anything y'all want us to talk about or y'all concerns, and tell us some topics, because we're gonna have to pick some topics. And we lining up a couple live shows. So we're gonna pick some topics. So the people who tune in every night, y'all are the ones that keep us going. So we really want y'all to tell us what y'all want us to talk about, so we can bring this to the fruition. So just check in with us, man. But right now, just show. We working on the where, when, and how, but y'all will be the first ones to know before we did any kind of promotion. We're gonna introduce it and promote it live on the show when we do come up with the where, when, and how. But just understand, we're gonna give you enough time to get yourself together, ready, and to get all dolled up. We want your best version of yourself.
Yes, Shelley.
We're gonna give you our best versions.
Yes, Shelley. You better come up there and act a fool for me too, Shelley.
Listen.
The live show, you better come back. I'm talking about underwear thrown on the stage, acting a fool for me, Shelley.
Shout out to Auntie Ratliff, Chris Auntie in the comments, but I haven't seen her in a while. Mia, I miss Zay, but it was a good show. Happy Family Day, fellas. Team Zay. Yeah, I gotta investigate this shit. Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, so that's why I be saying, because we want that. We want Mia to bring her ass to the show. Now you Team Zay, so when we get out there, we want you in the front row. We're gonna get you a little seat to say Zay's #1 fan.
Yeah. Well, listen, come on out, Mia, and if you need to take 2 trips, bring your ass. Yeah, I'm a butthole. All right, listen, coming for the Kings. I get it. We thank y'all for checking in to another show, man. It's always a pleasure. Hey, Monday Night Raw, 9 o'clock every week. I know the comments gonna come in. I'll catch a flight to come these days. Well, goddamn.
Put that up. That's what you want. Bring some of your friends with you.
Yeah. Good night.
They all can get hit.